Good morning. It is Friday, and that means it is Ask Me Anything. So, what questions do you have that you're really, really interested in? Because today, that's what we're going to cover. So, this is kind of exciting. So, right now, not only are you live on the Mary J. Harrington parenting site, but this will also be uploaded to the YouTube channel Inside Parenting. So if you've gone there and if you've watched some of these videos, please share it with your friends so that we can get the word around and maybe get our own named channel. That would be totally awesome. So today, until we get some people, I just thought I'd chit chat a little bit about what we've reviewed this week. What do you think of that? So this week, I love it when I have to find the beginning of the filters here. This week we went over how to drop your phone. That is a great one. It keeps falling off the stand this morning. But we went over how to find that space. Coffee. Give me whichever one. Give me this one. Thank you. Elizabeth's bringing me coffee this morning. She's awesome. Okay. But we covered how to find that space between the circumstance or the situation and the stimulus and your response. So that was Mondays. It was all about how do you find that space in there? How do you not just react and have that knee-jerk reaction? And what to do that. So if you've missed that video, go on back and take a look at it. The second thing we covered was the innocent Peter Rabbit. Now, we all have heard all about Peter Rabbit and how this big hoopla over the food allergy nonsense. I suffer from life-threatening food allergies. Sarah has them. It's something we're really familiar with. We actually never even made it to that scene. We left the movie before that scene because of the atrocious bullying that was happening throughout the entire movie. She was so disgusted and so upset she couldn't stay. Then we took a day off because we went to go to school, and we came back and we talked about mom guilt yesterday and how that really does destroy your relationships and how it's actually abuse on yourself and how it follows the entire abuse cycle. So today I sort of want to put all three of those together and talk about societal norms and things that have happened that make us not treat our children as well. So until we have some questions, that's what I'm going to babble on about. So basically, hey, good morning, Becky. Just starting my morning babble. So what I decided to do, until we have awesome people like you asking questions, is basically review from what happened earlier in the week. So we talked about the bullying in Peter Rabbit. We talked about mom guilt and how that's actually self-abuse. And we also talked about finding that space between the stimulus and the reaction. So I was just going to sort of pull that all together and touch a little bit on society and society's norms. And I actually was going to bring up the shooting that happened earlier this week because that's something that really it touches me very deeply. This is a child who's the same age as my oldest. He's 19. And he grew up in a world where shootings were normal. And so how do we as a society create a situation and a world that they live in that doesn't make this normal? I mean, we are making shootings in schools normal. They are now creating bulletproof backpacks. What the fuck? Okay? So I'm all for homeschooling. I think it's great. We do it. You know that. I don't think every child should be homeschooled. I don't think the government should get involved in homeschooling just because it has enough on its plate. It really can't handle what it's doing and do it well. So leave our children to us because obviously the majority of us know what we're doing with our kids. Not everyone. We have that horrible case in California where the kids were homeschooled and they were actually being tortured. Okay? That's the exception to the rule. But what's not the exception to the rule is weekly shootings in our schools. Why is this okay? Why are people sitting back and saying, oh, there's nothing we can do? Guess what? The majority of them are white males. Not Muslims, not blacks, not anybody else. It's white males. Oh, but they do that in schools too. Yeah, they do. But it's like everybody just looks the other way. Oh, that person's being bullied. Oh, I can't deal with that. I have to look the other way. It's not affecting me. I just look the other way. No, it affects everyone. It is now the social norm to be able to send your child to school and not know if they're coming home. You know, what the hell? Honey, have a great day. I hope you survive the day. I hope no one comes in and shoots you. I mean, that's the norm. And that's fucked up. That is beyond fucked up. You should not at any time have to worry about that. It's like a war zone We send our children into a war zone. Not only are the teachers bullying them, I mean, I know, Becky, you are fighting tooth and nail with school systems about children who have disabilities. So you're fighting for your child. Let's discuss the word fighting. What are you doing? You're fighting. You are at war with school systems. Children are at war with each other. We are constantly violent, whether it is physical, emotional, or mental violence. When we study history, what do we study? We study wars. Yeah, we're constantly, and fighting others. We are constantly. So how can we change the societal paradigm that we're constantly at war, that we're constantly having to get back at someone else? I don't know. I think it starts at home. I think it starts with conversations like this. I think it starts with parents realizing that this isn't the way to do it. You have to work with your child. You have to be in partnership with your child. You have to stop the abuse at home. You have to stop abusing yourself as parents and saying everything I do is wrong and teaching that to the child. You have to stop beating their heads against walls. Kids that are bullies, where do they learn it? They learn it at home. Okay, yeah, there are some that are born that are a little touched in the head. Okay, that's always been. But what do we teach as we are teaching our subjects? Let's go back to teaching history. We teach war. We don't teach about the people that were the victims of war, right? We don't talk about how war affected everyone that had nothing to do with it. We talk about battles, and we make people learn dates and how they won that battle. Well, what are we teaching them? We're teaching them how to fight. We're teaching them strategically how to think so that they can dominate. Not how they can work together, not how they can come together to find a resolution. No, we're just going to teach them how to fight. And that's what they grow up with, constantly. What do we see on the news every single day? We see every single day that there's another shooting. Every single day there's another death. That is our norm. Why? Why do we make this our norm? I don't know. I don't know why we feel we have to tell children all about death and all about dominance. It's a societal thing, right? So let's say in Japan, I was reading this morning, if you want to go get a gun, it's not that you can't have guns. I'm not saying don't take away guns, okay? In Japan, you have to go for a 6-week class. Then you have to be tested. You have to score over 95% in your handgun testing. You have to have a mental test, an emotional test, a written test, a shooting test. You have to have a background test. Okay? All of these tests. And I don't even like tests, but I think these are kind of useful, all right? And then you have the choice of a handgun, like a rifle, or an air gun. That's it. And you know what they do to people that are like unstable in Japan? This cracked me up. They wrap them up in a futon. A futon. Like an egg roll. They wrap them up in a futon. Because they don't have guns. Yeah. Okay? It's insane how we handle this. It's insane in this country that we don't take on mental health. But we want to blame mental health. We want to blame people that have mental illness for acting out. Okay? I have a child with mental illness. She's not acting out. We want to victimize and constantly blame. And that is the problem with our societies. We victimize and constantly blame. There is no ability for self-actualization, for ownership. And when you are constantly to blame or blaming others and victimized, then you have no voice. When you have no voice, what are you left to do? You are left to act out. And when you act out to be heard, it's going to be violent. Because what are we taught? That violence gets attention. So if you think of nothing else this week, as you are going through your upcoming weekend or your upcoming days, depending on when you're watching this, because you could be watching it on the replay, think about this. Think about how your behaviors and your actions create victimization and take away your voice. Are you making yourself guilty for something that you don't own? Are you apologizing for something that you don't own? Are you taking it upon yourself to become a volunteering victim? Are you just going along with societal's norms, even though they don't feel right to you, because you just want to fly under the radar? Well, this is how it all happens, people. This is why our children are getting killed on a daily basis. This is why people in Congress say nothing, because they just want to all fly under the radar, don't want to make a mess, don't want to make a fuss, don't want to be seen, don't want to stand up for anything. Just let's do our job, get paid to do our job the most minimal way possible, and really it's someone else's kid that got killed. It's really okay. At what point? I don't know. When's the shooter going to take it upon themselves to go into D.C. and shoot up all the congressman kids? Do you think that would change something? It might. Put the tack on the chair, babe. I'm not saying go shoot people. No. I'm saying as mothers, we need to get together and empower ourselves. Stop flying under the fucking radar. Stop pretending that it's someone else's kid. Stop looking the other way and grow up, and we need to unite. It's more than wearing a pink pussy hat. It's totally more than that. You want to talk about women's rights? Bond together as women, and we could rule this country. Bond together and say, the buck stops here. You can have guns. That's fine. We're not going to take away your Second Amendment, but we're going to have legalities that go behind it. There are rules behind speed limits. There are rules behind driving drunk. There are rules behind wearing seatbelts. I don't see anybody saying we took your car away. I don't see anybody saying you can't have a bar. We're saying there has to be laws in place to protect. Good morning. So what do you think on this? What do you think we should do? I think we should unite as women, and damn it, we should just not leave. Forget about calling your congressman. They don't give a shit anymore. No one cares. Hit him in the belt, babe. Hit him with the votes. Be loud. Stop flying under the radar because you're afraid to be seen. Well, then you're a victim. And it's going to constantly be happening. You know what we teach our children then? That our children are victims. And that they have no power, that they can do nothing. And guess what happens when you raise people who believe they have no power? They have no power. And guess what that leaves room for? Oligarchies and dictators. Do you not realize, do you not see that this is how they're gaining power? Are you really that dense that you don't see what we're doing with our children, how we're raising them in this society that you have no voice, you have no power, you are nothing, just follow along? That wasn't even what our country was founded upon. It's what we've chosen to become because we're all so damn scared. So mamas, pull up your big mommy panties. It is time to unite. It is time to get together. It is time to put the tack on the white man's seat. Because guess what? They're a bunch of white, flabby pussies. Really, they need to grow. Forget about you need to grow a set of balls. You need to grow a set of labia. Because that's a lot fucking tougher. All right? Forget even about grow a set of tits. Because a lot of men have moobs. Okay? No moobs, no balls. Grow a set of labia. Because that'll make you tough. And we need to unite, and we need to stand up and forget about our pussy hats. That's all nice. That's cute. Do something. Because our children are having to go to school and not know if they're coming home. Our children are having to look at, am I going to die today? How do we expect them to learn if they're wondering if they're going to die today? Whether it's from bullying, whether it's from bullets. They both begin with B. Come on, grow up. Enough is enough. Stand up. Stop looking at companies that are now going to be working on creating bulletproof backpacks. Okay, I don't care how you market them. Your kid is not going to be Captain America. There's nothing cool at being shot at. Stop it. Give your child a voice. Give yourself a voice. Teach them how to be heard. Teach them that their voice matters. Then our society will begin to change. It's going to take generations. It's not going to happen overnight. But it starts now. So what do you think? What are your thoughts on the shootings that keep happening every week? What do you think the tipping point is? Leave your answers below. I would love to know. Until then, I will see you Monday morning. I hope you have a decent weekend. Bye-bye.